And today I'd like to cover 3 new training manuals that we're bringing to market in the Spanish language, leveraging some of our existing English training material as a part of our quest to bring more localized language material to market. So today we'll cover a brief overview of TATA technologies, and then we'll cover the actual titles that we're launching today. So to give you a little background on TATA technologies, who we are, and how we bring the training materials to market, it's probably best to start from the beginning. So we're a global company where we operate in over 14 countries around the globe, and we have over 5,000 professionals globally, from Asia Pacific to Europe to North America to South America and Mexico. And we focus on 2 main business streams. One is our engineering skills, and the other one is engineering software. So we basically perform a tremendous amount of engineering services for companies around the globe, and then we're also an Autodesk Gold reseller across different territories in the globe, mainly out of the United States. So we bring the software to market, but we also help people solve their engineering challenges. About 2/3 of our business is focused on services, and 1/3 is software related. And what makes us unique is our global delivery model that includes onshore resources and also offshore resources. So we use a blended approach of global resources to help customers solve their problems, and we basically bring to market a very in-depth knowledge and investment of design technology. So we use what we sell ourselves internally. So all the software that we help customers deploy, we also use internally to complete projects on our own. So companies for like Tata Motors, Ford Motor Company, Chrysler, Boeing, Apple Computer, 3M, large global brands, we're helping them every day with their engineering challenges. And one of our products that we have is called I Get It. And I Get It is focused on online training for engineers. And we provide a tremendous library of training courses in an online fashion. But just until recently, we started migrating our online training courses to more of a print format. And this is the project that we worked on with Autodesk to bring Autodesk training materials to market in more of a print format. And we're leveraging our existing training materials out of our I Get It system. So even though these books may be new, they are very mature training manuals that have been in the market for many years that you'll notice through our I Get It system. So the 3 initial releases, and these are aligned with the certification goals around the core products of Autodesk, is AutoCAD 2011 Essentials, Autodesk Inventor 2011 Essentials, and then Autodesk Revit Architectural 2011 Essentials. These are the first 3 titles in Spanish. The complete training manual consists of hundreds of pages, as you'll see here shortly, that are available, I believe, momentarily right now for you. So we'll cover each of these in detail, and then if you have any questions, we can answer them. So the first one is the AutoCAD 2011 Essentials. This training manual is comprised of about a 32 to 40-hour training course as a live instructor-led. So most resellers would conduct this training in either a 4-day class or a 5-day class, depending on the pace that the students and instructor would like to go at. And the targeted student is new users to AutoCAD. So this is the very first training class that people should take when they're starting to adopt AutoCAD, or if they haven't used AutoCAD in many years, this is a good starting point to refresh them on one of the latest versions of AutoCAD. This book is comprised of 3 volumes, I believe, and it's over 800 pages, as you'll see as we get into the actual manual. The next manual is the Autodesk Inventor 2011 Essentials. And this is aligned with the certification material required. Once again, this is targeted at a 4 to 5 day training class, 32 to 40 hours, depending on the pace and duration of the days. and this is also targeted at new users to Inventor to cover all the fundamentals that are required to successfully use Autodesk Inventor. And the third title is Autodesk Revit Architectural 2011 Essentials. And once again, this is focused on new users to the product of Revit. And depending on the pace, is also a 4 to 5 day training class. This course has a tremendous amount of what we call projects and exercises that allow the students to go step by step in creating actual building design relatively from scratch throughout the training course. There's a lot of projects inside of this course, as there are with the other two, but this one in particular has a lot of project time. There's a couple very lengthy projects inside of this training manual. Now, before I go and show you the actual materials, I just want to give you a little preview of some of the other ones that we're working on in Spanish, and these are the 2012 versions of those same 3 books that we're working on now, and then also a 3ds Max Essentials class in the Essentials format. So these other materials are the ones that we're working on right now to bring to market in Spanish, and we will continue to advance these materials and bring other ones to market as well. So before we go to some questions, let me show you some of the actual materials. I'm just going to show it to you in a PDF format here today, but these are the actual printed training materials that you would be able to purchase. These are also official training guides from Autodesk, so they carry the Autodesk official training guide brand on them. And as we scroll through the actual course, a couple things. The books ship with a CD that contain all the project files, but you can also go to this website here at any time and download the user project files if required. So if the CD has been lost, you can always go online and download those project files. And then also, if you ever have any questions regarding the material, you can email us at this address here, support@myigetit.com. And we'll be more than happy to address any questions that you may have regarding the material. So as you get into the material, I'm just going to skip through it. Each of the chapters have an introduction to them, describing what the goal of that particular chapter is. And then as you advance into the course, there's an introduction for each of the lessons. So within the lesson, it will describe the intent and purpose of that, and the objectives at the end of the lesson. Once you're into the actual lesson, the materials follow what we call a descriptive template. So this is describing the actual topic in detail, and as you progress onward, you'll see that it moves to what we call a procedure document, which gives you the workflow and processes of the topic, and then that is followed up with what we reference as a project. And I'm just going to skip ahead here and get to an actual project. So this is the actual project. It's going to walk you through step-by-step tutorials of completing a specific task. So the whole material is laid out where there's an introduction, a description, a procedure, and then a project. And that format repeats itself throughout the training manuals to reinforce the learning. And then it gives you all of your step-by-step instructions as you go through each of these exercises. The intended purpose is to use an English version of AutoCAD or Inventor or Revit in this particular case. So the key inputs are retained in English, and all the other text is localized into Latin American Spanish. So this gives you the most versatile, and it also allows us to bring more materials to market quicker. So this is an example of the AutoCAD book. If I just kind of skim ahead here, you'll see these are actual projects. They go through each of those. So I go and jump to a different one here. The AutoCAD book, as you'll see, is 3 volumes. So this is shipping in actual 3 volumes. The Revit book is 2 volumes, and the Inventor Essentials book is 3 volumes. So if we go into each of these books, you'll see that they're hundreds of pages long. Most of the books are over 800 pages in total, and they follow the same consistent format in Inventor. So once again, there's an introduction to the topic. In this particular one, it's the chapter, and that is followed by the introduction of the lesson, and that is followed by a description document, in this case talking about drawings, walking through each of the detailed scenarios, and then there's a process, as you see here, describing the actual process, and that repeats itself in this particular case as you get to the actual exercise projects. So let me just kind of go ahead here, and then here's an example of a project, completing step-by-step instructions on that, and then you jump to the next introduction of the next lesson. So those are the general formats of all the materials. The material has been in use for several years. So the material is used by retailers in the United States today to conduct training classes in English, and this is the first time that the materials have been brought into Spanish. So is there any questions at this time? No, that's wonderful. Yeah. Nope, might have to unmute somebody if there is a actual question. Okay, so it looks like there's no questions coming in at this time. There is actually a question just posted about Civil 3D. Civil 3D is something that we intend to work on in the future, but at this time it's not in the near term. We're focused on the AutoCAD-based products, Revit-based products, and then the manufacturing-based products right now. Those are our primary focuses, but we do intend to cover all products eventually. And then there's another question regarding product suites. So the one thing is we are a big fan of the suites, and we're a big fan of the suites driving training opportunities for all the resellers, because it entitles the customers to receive a lot of new products that possibly they are not aware of how to use. So we actually have English-based training classes on most of the suite products today, and our goal is to localize those into Spanish and actual Portuguese in the future, hopefully, and bring those to market. But they are available today in English on our myigetit.com website for most of the product suites. So then one other question comes in about workflows on suites. So this is an interesting topic, and it's definitely one dear to my heart that I believe is required to teach people how to successfully leverage all the products in the suite in more of a workflow manner. This is something that we actually have recently started with the product design suite, and in January we are rolling out a course for Carnegie Mellon University that covers most of the product and product design suite. Based upon that particular training course, we do and plan to bring that to form in print format in 2012. So it's on our list. In the Carnegie Mellon, we're going to pilot the course there in the spring of 2012.
Hola.
So one other question I see come in about chat is about
Sí.
data. So one of the questions on the data set, you could actually download the data sets from this website right here, myiget.com, course files, and each of the data sets vary depending